All right, happy Wednesday. Happy October 22nd. We're a week away from Halloween, so markets are kind of scaring people, right? Things are getting spooky. It's a little cheesy. But anyways, simple trade recap. I haven't really made these recaps. I mean, ever since I had to restart with my YouTube channel, just kind of just lost interest. I mean, it's satisfying when I do it, but the markets haven't been easy to read, and honestly, I've just been taking either losses or taking some, just significantly sizing down and just kind of preventing just losing or minimizing my losses as much as possible, right? So I know I could definitely be transparent and talk about what I could do better, and it's always going to be one of those mental blocks, right? But anyways, today was actually a lot easier day than I was assuming or thinking of it to be. But to be honest, today was my first win after practically a whole week full of losses back to back. And then today I just cut my trade off extremely early, right? So let's talk about what had happened, right? So we came up, came down, 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 came up, and it just kind of seemed like, I would say we dropped a little bit, but then came up, and then now we're making a full U back up, right? So ideally I want to see it come basically somewhere over here in this zone for a dump, right? So now let me delete that. I don't want to delete everything actually. So what was my thought process is that as soon as we get up to this purple line, I'll take a sell, right? So fair enough, I did take a sell, but what was really intimidating for me is that I don't know why I put the blue line there. I was thinking the blue line's a great support in my opinion, right? Because we came up, we lingered as we broke it, and we came back up and we bounced off of it, right? And it kind of seemed like we're doing the same thing over here. When we dropped from the zone, we kind of curled our way, was touching and lingering above this zone, and when we finally bounced, right? So ideally I was kind of scared of it, like right here, to be honest, and above all, I knew I was gonna be extremely quick to cut this trade had it gone north, right? Basically up to the upside where I was already in a sell. I got in a sell pretty much right there. So I was literally hovering between break even, small profit, small loss, right? Now I knew that we can flush basically this area, say like this area right here, then we could get a massive flush. Now, if you look on a 1 minute time frame, sure, it looks like we flushed it, but I kid you not, I literally took profit right below this blue line, and it was just one of those 15-point trades. I made profit, but it was really just nothing. I traded really poorly. I mean, I could have and should have made a lot more profit, and I did not, right? So that's how my trade went. Sucks, but and then ideally when we're down here, I was thinking we could basically hold in the zone, right? Took a buy, and that's when I got stopped out. I took a buy over here, and then she went back down, so I just decided to cut it. So for me it was a break-even trade. I just should have been more patient, to be honest, but and why I took a buy over here is because we came up, and I'm referring to this wick, by the way. That's just not markers, not close to that wick. So we have 3 indications, and then we, when we came up with that wick, came back down, and then we bounced over here to the north, right? So I'm just sitting at 3 points in profit, which it's just $30. Sitting at break even, which just sucks, right? And I just wasn't patient at all, whether that was on a sell, whether that was on a buy. Those were two great calls that I've made literally this whole almost a month and a half, to be honest. Two great signals, right? Each of those signals were just fantastic. However, I just didn't wait it out, and next thing I know, does it show the 1 minute over here? Yeah. So it does. So I entered literally right here, and the next thing you know, she just dumped. I mean, remember, guys, points over here it shows like what 51 to 67. Yeah, 16 points. For me, it was more like 13. So points over here and points compared to your brokers and the size of the candles will always differentiate, right? They will always differ. But again, it just sucks that, once I got in a buy, I immediately got in drawdown, and I just wasn't willing to get in a loss for the day. I honestly, if I'm gonna chase a second trade, in this case, chasing it to the north, because she was not pushing up, but she definitely wasn't dropping. I noticed the zone over here, and then I was like, she's just waiting to basically curl back up. But next thing you know, as soon as I pressed buy, I literally got in over here somewhere. I know it was closer to this wick. That's where I had set my buy limit. And next thing you know, she was just willing to tank. She was just willing to immediately, what I had feared was dropping, right, to tank. So I'm kind of happy. I mean, obviously, it's one of those things when you look back at a trade and now that it's already happened, now that you see the results, you're always gonna regret something. But I'm still gonna be brutally honest. I'm glad that I cut that trade for a loss, that second trade, because I would have been, I could have been red in a day, right? So it's one of those things, especially with this volume, you just want to cut off a trade when in doubt. So I don't want to trade, and a small red day could get into a big red day, or a small green day could. I'd much rather end the day straight up with 2 cents in profit, or even if it's 1 cent in profit, than to be $5 or $6 in drawdown, or in red, right? So, which at the end of the day, both of those are break even days. None of them are that much better than the other, but being green at least makes you, say that you followed your rules, right? I mean, being green will always be as a result of following your rules. And then even if it's red by minimal, by a small stretch, by minimal means, it can always sustain your mental health. So hey, to each their own. This is my trade recap. I took 2 trades today. And then I knew as soon as she came back up, she tapped this. I was thinking of getting a sell, but I'm like, you know what? I took 2 trades, just not worth it today. So again, sitting $30 in profit, $31 in green to be exact, $31.13. It is what it is. All right. So as always, guys, thank you so much for watching this. If you value these type of videos, you know if you like the way I break down these trade recaps, it's always nice to kind of just hear some feedback or to see some means of support, so which I genuinely would appreciate, since this is my new YouTube account. As always, guys, peace, love, cheers, thank you.